Sid from Games Freezer, and today we thought we'd do a bit of a different video. So as you can see, I've purchased an exercise bike, and the main reason for this was to get a little bit fitter in between the off season and the start of the football season. And initially I looked at a Peloton bike, which is obviously the one that everyone is talking about at the minute, the Peloton, because of the integrated screen that you get with it, the ability to tailor your bike to the type of workouts that you want to use. It's all integrated into the bike, very technologically advanced, etc. And at £2,000 odd, of course, you're going to get the best product that's out there at the minute. So I looked at that and thought, that's far too dear for a spin bike, essentially. And I looked at alternatives because I knew there must have been a way around having to buy the whole Peloton package. And what I found was there was varying degrees of spin bike. Some that give you kind of like a Bluetooth connectivity to allow you to connect directly to Peloton app, Kino Map app, and also ZWIFT. And when I discovered ZWIFT, I thought that is right up my street, because obviously that is more of a computer game style training app that gives you the opportunity to go into computer generated worlds and cycle around. So how do I get from a £2,000 bike down to a more budget setup? Well, I did a lot of research and I came across a few YouTube channels that were talking about this bike. Now it's the Yosuda spin bike that's on Amazon, but in fact I got mine from eBay, and it came out at £169, I believe, all in all, for the bike itself, which was far cheaper than anything that I'd come across previously, but still gives you a 15 kilogram flywheel, which was the key thing that I was finding was the difference in price between the really cheap ones and the more expensive sort of £400, £500 mark spin bikes. Now the top end sort of flywheel is probably about 22 kilograms, and I found that excuse me, I found that on a JLL spin bike that they were selling. So they're around about the £400 mark, which still seemed too dear to me for something that I've never been a part of before. Don't know whether I'm going to get on with it in the long term, so I thought let's go a bit lower and see where we get to. So 15 kilograms spin wheel, decent weight, obviously not top end, but heavier than the sort of 8 kilogram ones that I was seeing, 12 kilogram ones that I was seeing that were of a similar price, and if not dearer in some cases. So with the Yosuda, you get a friction based resistance. So that uses a pad, that's a felt pad. So that's obviously where they've saved a bit of money, because the magnetic version of the resistance is obviously dearer. So that's fine. I don't mind having the cut down on that. And obviously with regards to the connectivity, there is none. So all you get to begin with is this kind of built-in monitor that just gives you LCD display of speed, distance, calories burnt, odometer, sort of showing you how far you've gone in miles on the bike. So very basic, very simple. So how did I get this bike onto ZWIFT and onto the Peloton app as well? So with ZWIFT you can connect sensors to the app, and the same with the Peloton app as well. Peloton deals with cadence primarily, and ZWIFT needs power, and then you can add on cadence as well. So I bought these two sensors down here. So there's one by the wheel that I've stuck on with like a 3M strip, It's like Velcro. And then there's one by the pedal. So the one by the pedal gives you cadence. The one by the pedal is on with the bands that came with the sensors. And the one by the wheel will give you power. And that will make it compatible with ZWIFT. And like I say, ZWIFT is that computer generated world where you get to bike around all different routes, which is really cool, and it really intrigued me. Obviously you can connect to Peloton, the Peloton app, which is $12.99 a month, just using the cadence sensor, and that's all you kind of really need in a spin class. But I found the spin classes to be kind of boring, if I'm honest, and I much preferred to go around a computer generated world on my spin bike, and it keeps me more engaged during the whole ride, and it gives you a whole load of different challenges to do and races to take part in. So that's why I went down this route. Now the sensors I used were actually only £10 on Amazon. So they were McGeen S3 sensors, and they have been brilliant so far. I was looking at the Wahoo ones and they're about 30 quid, but these ones are far cheaper and do the job. You do need to know how to sort of set them up properly, because the actual instructions came over and they were in Chinese or Japanese. I think it's Chinese that they're in. So I had to go online, do a bit of research, and it turns out if you remove the battery from the McGeen, put it back in, it changes the sensor type. So you get one speed mode and one cadence mode. So you buy one of these and you can switch between the two depending on what you want to use it for. I bought two of these because they were only a tenner, because they were on offer on Amazon at the time. So I've now got one for my speed and one for my cadence. So yeah, so that's the McGeen model S3 Plus. And like I say, you take the battery out to change between the two modes. There's a green mode and a red mode. Red mode I believe is for cadence, and green mode I believe is for speed, but you'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So those are the two things I bought. With the actual Yosuda, there wasn't much really in the package, if I'm honest. It was really easy to put together, and other than the few bolts that were in there to allow you to attach the feet, there was this spare resistance pad, felt resistance pad, and you get a few tools in there to assist you with setting up the bike when you initially buy it. So quite easy to do. Took me about half hour to set the bike up. It probably took me longer to work out the speed sensors and get all the apps calibrated, but now I basically utilise my mobile phone to use ZWIFT, and you can just actually pop your phone on the ready-made holder that comes with the Yosuda. But what I decided to do was utilise a holder I already had. That's the holder from my Joby grip, and then I had some other fixings from a action cam that I've got as well. So then I can just pop my phone straight in there and utilise ZWIFT, and that's my screen. Obviously this bit here could actually take a tablet, but you need a newer sort of iPad or a newer version of Android. My iPad and my Android tablet are both fairly dated, so they don't support the app. So I just use my iPhone 7 at the moment within this little holder here, and it does the job. It does it really well. I'm really happy with the purchase, and I'll be sort of doing ZWIFT and some of the Peloton stuff as well on the month trial, and then I'll make a decision at the end of the month as to which one I want to carry on using. At the minute it's looking more likely to be the ZWIFT option. Anyway, hopefully that was a bit of a different video for the Games Freezer channel. Video games adjacent, I suppose, because we're looking at ZWIFT, which is essentially a video game but with real world equipment used in it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please press like if you have. Hopefully it's helped you make a decision on whether you want to purchase a spin bike or not, especially the Yosuda one, which so far has been good after a couple of weeks worth of use. Press like, please subscribe. You can find us over on @GamesFreezer, and that's on Twitter and Instagram, and we're also on www.gamesfreezer.co.uk, where you can find plenty of video games related items, as well as a few different videos that we're trialing on video games adjacent subjects such as ZWIFT. Okay, my friends, until next time, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from my Yosuda.